How's it going, dudes? So, I've told you stories about my sister and my mom, so I thought I'd tell you stories about my dad now. It's just, you know, that kind of thing. So, what can I tell you about my dad? What can I tell? What stories shall I tell you? They're not really funny as they are to me funny. They might not be funny to you, but I find them hilarious. But, oh, there was one time my dad was completely oblivious. So I was at this party with my buddy, and we were there, and there were a bunch of people there that were causing a nuisance, and somebody had called him and said that the cops were coming to break it up. Well, we were SOL. We were like, oh no, the 50, 50, get out the back kind of thing. So we fucking run out the back. His brother decides, I'm gonna jump in this bush. And fucking just, he's like, I gotta watch the house. And right in the bush he went. He didn't even fucking hesitate. Ninja motherfucker. Well, me and Donnie didn't know where to go. A bunch of people hiding out in the woods. So we fucking ran to my house, not too far away from his house. And I knock on the door because I go to open the door. I unlock the bottom lock because I have key. Well, my dad thought I was staying over at his house all night, so he locked the deadbolt. And if you don't know, which you don't, I don't have a key for the deadbolt. Neither does my dad. That's just how that works. But, I mean, it's something that is locked, So, that's what's locked at night to help keep people the fuck out. Yeah. But, I knock on the door, I ring the doorbell, he comes to the door. My buddy's standing back there smelling like a fucking brewery. And I'm better off than him because he was fucking drunk. Me, on the other hand, I only had like a beer or two. And he answers the door and he's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, well, me and Donnie were bored over there. So we came over here to play video games. And he looked at me, looked at him, looked back at me. And I was like, sorry, Dad, I didn't mean to bother you. And he's like, it's okay. Just, you can have whatever liquor's in the fridge. I don't care. I'm going back to bed. So right there, he was cool as shit to just be like, you guys can have that liquor so you don't have to worry about going back over there. Well, come to find out, after the whole thing happened, I guess some bitch that was at the party decided to call and say that the police were coming. It was a fucking prank. We got pranked. He was so pissed. He went over there and fucking kicked that bitch out and fucking told her and her friends to go. Finished up the party, came back over here and hung out with me, and we were just drinking. And it was fun. I don't know. My dad was super cool with it. I feel like he knew, but at the same time, it just seemed like he didn't at the time. But I know he probably knew. And then, there was one time we went deer hunting. It was Thanksgiving. My grandma was here. May she rest in peace. She's gone now, but she's still, here with us. But she was super pissed at the fact that my dad wanted to go deer hunting, and I wanted to go with him. And my mom and my grandma and him all got into a fight, and we went anyway because we weren't going to fucking deal with it. And we said we'd be gone, it took us about 45 minutes to get there. We get there, we walk into the woods, and there's just, right on the other side, there's a field. And in that field, there's like 5 or 6 does just standing there. My dad stands there, he's got his gun up, and he's like, which one you want? I want the one with the fluffy tail, Dad. Which one? That one right in the middle. Boom! Drops. Motherfucker drops. He goes up. He's gutting it. And I'm like, oh, that's like so cool. Like, I don't know. It's not, I mean, it's cool because of the simple fact of being, it's just something you do. It's cool because, that's his prize. That's our meal. That's going to be our food. And I love deer meat. It's so good. But he, as he's gutting it, I turn around real quick because the smell kind of gets to me a little bit. When I turn back around, he's like, here you go. And he had cut the fucking tail off this deer. And this tail was like this. Oh, I can't even fucking give you that. It's like as tall as my head. And then it was big and fluffy, like this fluffy, but not like puby fluffy like that, you know what I'm saying? Because that looks like a bush. But, yeah, and we get back not even an hour later. And my grandma and mom were surprised as all hell. Everybody was still here. Everybody was still chilling, eating dessert and stuff. It just, yeah, it was cool as hell. One of the fastest hunting trips I've ever been on. I've sat in the woods for hours and not seen shit. And then the ones we go out there, not even 15 minutes, we drop one and leave. He drops it and leaves. Or some of my favorite things is when we went rabbit hunting. And we go out to my dad's buddy's house, and he had this little bit of land that was woods and then just like a big old fucking, it looked like a burn pile, but it was just a bunch of brush and big old logs and shit that he had pulled up and sat there. Well, we go rabbit hunting with our two dogs, which they're gone too. I miss them so very much. There's Earl, which is a big 75-pound beagle, by the way. He was huge. He would go and roll on his back and scratch his back in the grass, and then he'd have trouble like 5 minutes trying to get up. And then we had Shiloh, which I've had since he was itty bitty too. And I think he died at the age of like 15, guys. He was old. He lived a good life. But that's not the point. We went rabbit hunting, and Shiloh is getting at this fucking pile. And Dad's ready for it. And all of a sudden, this rabbit just comes flying out, and he doesn't even hesitate. No hesitation. Just fucking boom. Just fucking right past my fucking head. Just boom. Right near my ear. I go fucking deaf. And then right after that gunshot goes off, fucking you hear Earl, big old 75-pound motherfucker, just sitting at the truck. Arr! 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 Just fucking going off. And Dad goes, Earl, you fucking pussy. Get out here. And he's just chilling by the truck. Fucking Shiloh's just running around trying to get this rabbit. And he's just, Arr! Dad's getting pissed at him. He's like, I'm about to just shoot him. I'm like, don't shoot my dog. Don't. He's my favorite. Like, other than, you know, he's one of the ones we kept because we actually had more dogs. And that's another thing. When I was younger, we had two dogs. Me and Marge both got to pick one. They were both Daisy Beagles. There was Shiloh and Sierra. Well, Shiloh and Sierra got in the backyard, and they got connected, and they had some puppies. And we had Shiloh, Sierra, and then there was Earl, Little C, which we also called Cheyenne, or Little C. No, not Cheyenne. We didn't call her Cheyenne. It was Earl, Little C, Cheyenne, which we also called Sweet Pea, and then Wrong Way Jones, because every time she'd try to feed, she would turn around and go the wrong way, so we named her Wrong Way Jones. But we had some neighbors that didn't really appreciate us having that many dogs or whatever, so they called the police and told us we had to get rid of them. So we got rid of all of them, and I was in a really bad state. Depression sat in. They were my dogs, man. I loved them all. They were my favorite, and my dad and mom tried everything to get them back, and it just seemed like they weren't. Dad went to go do something one day, though, and I'm sitting in my bedroom just moping, just playing a video game, moping. And all of a sudden, they told me, hey, come out here. Your dad needs help doing something. I'm like, okay. So I come out there, and I guess they needed me to help move some plywood. I was like, all right, well, I'll move this plywood for you and help you. And I go out there, and I go to open the back hatch of the truck, and Shiloh just kind of jumps into my arms. And I start losing it. It was one of the best things ever. I got my dogs back, man. I mean, I don't even care if it was only 2 of them. The other 4 found good homes real quick. But they were thinking because of how aggressive Shiloh was that nobody would take him and they'd have to put him down. So it was kind of nice to know that they didn't, you know. It's just like the same thing, like, so I got my dogs back. I mean, they're gone now, but they're in a better place, and they lived a good life, which is all that matters. And it's kind of like my dad with my dog, Blazer. Where are you at, Blaze? Here, I'll show you my dog, Blazer. See? That's Blazer. That's Blazer. Yeah, he's a good puppy. He's a good puppy. He's a good. I can't even get your face in there. There you go. Yeah, he's a good puppy. He's a good boy. He's my puppy. Well, a few years ago, during Christmas, it was actually like it was Christmas Day, I believe. They called me home, and I had to rush over here because Blazer's legs wouldn't work, and we didn't know why. His legs just wouldn't work. Well, we took him to the vet, and they said that a disc had slipped in his back, and he would just be like that. So I was thinking we'd have to put him down. We were all like that, bawling. Well, then all of a sudden, this veterinary thing, a vet came up to us and told us that they have an experimental surgery that they have never done before, and they would like to try it. And I was like, what exactly is it? Well, it was it's expensive. I used my tax money to help pay for it, but it was worth it. My dad said yes, and I followed him around like a lost puppy, because he saved my puppy. Because not only did he do really well, he made it through. My puppy did physical therapy in a fucking pool, man. He's running on a treadmill in a pool. And then my mom was contacted by the news channel around here, and they wanted to do a story about my dog Blazer for, having the surgery experiment to work very well. So, but we didn't do it, just for the simple fact of, we didn't want to. But yeah, I got my puppy. My dad saved my dogs more than once, and I appreciate him. And then there's been some good times, funny times. I thought they were hilarious. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I know this video ran a little bit longer than usual, but I started talking about other stuff that my dad has done that not only funny, but just things that, reasons why he knows that my animals mean a lot, and he loves them too, and it just meant so much to me, and I just appreciate it. So I love him so much. He's a good dad. I mean, all dads can be dicks, but I mean, he had his moments, and he still does. He's great. So, but all right, guys. Well, before this video gets any longer and I bored the shit out of you with that, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna fucking peace out, Girl Scouts. I'm about ready to leave here. So, all right, guys. But until next time, always remember, take her easy. If she's easy enough, take her twice, guys. Later.